This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This is one of the stories we're covering this half hour on Sunrise. The pictures really tell the story. A car drove into a building in Battleground. Officials still don't know exactly how this happened, but we'll explain what they do know coming up here in just a moment.
Plus, a look under the surface.
Very rocky as of right now.
What these experts and budding archaeologists are looking for over at Fort Vancouver. Then coming up later.
I think it would have been pretty scary for the people that were there because they didn't know when they were going to get out or how.
138 years ago, a harsh winter in the gorge trapped more than 100 passengers on a train. Coming up, how that experience helped name a creek and an Oregon State Park in the gorge. I feel like the name of the creek is really the catchy part of the story here. Starvation Creek is the name. We'll explain what's in that name coming up here at 5:15.
Interesting old pictures. I always see that driving through the gorge.
Right.
I had no idea it had anything to do with the train.
Starvation Creek, right. I've never been there. I've heard of it. This morning we learned why it's called that.
All right, that's coming up, but we want to say good morning. Happy Friday Eve. We are inching closer to the weekend.
Yeah, it's another beautiful day coming up.
Yeah.
And second morning in a row, we're going to start off looking at what was the full super moon. Now on the way down, the day after, if you will, from our Uquinna Bay camera in Newport. So still beautiful to see. That's out there. Partly cloudy skies in Newport right now. 43 degrees is the temperature. A little bit of cloudiness showing up to the north on the horizon there. But basically, for the time being, we are clear over downtown Portland. It's a gorgeous start to your day. We're at 58. So we are looking for some marine cloudiness in spots potentially in the coming hours. Otherwise, it's all sunshine. 73 at noon. Today's high 85 degrees. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Rod. Our top story at 5, a shootout in Salem killed a teenager and left an officer injured. This happened about 5 o'clock yesterday evening on Oak Park Drive Northeast. Police tell us they were trying to arrest the teen after connecting him to shootings at Salem Center Mall and Columbia Bank. When officers found him in a parked car, they say he pulled out a gun and exchanged gunfire with police. The teen was killed. An officer was also hit, but is expected to make a full recovery. The 4 officers involved are on paid administrative leave this morning.
One of our other top stories this morning involves a football player at the University of Oregon. Authorities say tight end Spencer Webb died in an accident at Triangle Lake in Lane County yesterday. The sheriff's office first reported that a man had fallen and hit his head at the lake. Bystanders and paramedics tried to save him, but he died on the scene. They say the death appears to be an accident. There's no evidence of foul play. And the sheriff's office did not release the victim's name, but sources with the University of Oregon confirmed it was Spencer Webb. The 22-year-old junior was a fan favorite. You would often see Duck fans at Austin Stadium holding up Webb for President signs. And Ducks head coach Dan Lanning posted this, a tweet about Webb. It read, "So full of life in every moment of the day. Your smile and your energy will be missed, Spencer."
Other headlines we're tracking for you this morning. Take a look at these photos. That car crashed into the margarita factory in downtown Battleground yesterday evening. The driver was hurt, so were 2 people in the restaurant. All 3 were taken to the hospital, but they will be okay. Officials tell us they don't know what caused the accident, but say no drugs or alcohol were involved. Health officials say Clark County is now at high risk for COVID. Because of that, they're recommending everyone wear a mask indoors. The newest variants are once again putting people in the hospital. COVID patients are filling up about 12% of the hospital beds in Clark County. Health officials say the best way to stave off the worst of the virus is to get vaccinated and boosted. The state of Oregon has reduced the financial penalties against a Gresham bakery that refused to bake a wedding cake for a lesbian couple almost 10 years ago. Melissa and Aaron Klein, owners of Sweet Cakes by Melissa, will have to pay $30,000 in damages instead of a $135,000 fine issued in 2015. Laurel and Rachel Bowman Cryer filed a complaint against the Kleins back in 2013, saying the bakery refused to make their wedding cake citing religious beliefs. The Oregon Court of Appeals ruled the bakery discriminated against the couple. The Kleins have since left Oregon. And those are some of your Thursday morning headlines.
Last summer, most of the Northwest had to deal with that record-setting heat wave that we know wound up killing more than 100 people here in Oregon.
Well, out of that crisis came a program to get air conditioning into more Portland homes and a pledge to help low-income folks survive the next heat wave. Last night on The Story, Pat Doris gave us a progress report on that promise.
The Portland Heat Response Program has installed 426 cooling units so far. The plan was to have 3,000 installed early in the summer, but the program's had some big delays. Now it does seem, though, like it's picking up speed, and they say they will have that 3,000 units installed by the end of summer.
It's heating up. Things are going to keep heating up through climate change. Douglas heat pumps are really important because they tackle the issue of climate change. They also tackle the issues of economic justice, and people end up saving a lot of money with these systems, and then just uplifting BIPOC communities or just low-income families, just giving the savings to them rather than just giving it to the electric bills.
The free cooling units are just one of the programs paid for by a 1% tax on big business in Oregon. Anyone making 60% or less of the median income can request a free unit. But we've heard from some of you that it's confusing on how to sign up. We put that question to Sam Barrasso. He's the Clean Energy Fund program manager.
That's something that I will acknowledge that it's our program that we're managing. It is a new program, and as part of that, there is always the ongoing development. It is a 5-year program as well, and so it's a hard question to answer in the record, given that we're building a new program after blazing speed for certainly for any entity, and so these hiccups are normal and expected, and expect that we'll be working them out in the months to come.
My best advice is to Google the Portland Heat Response Program, then click on the PCEF link. Scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll find a couple of phone numbers to call. I know, it's terribly clunky. It's a bad way you have to sign up, but for now, that's all we have right now.
All right, that was Pat Doris reporting last night on The Story. We have Rod Hill reporting on our weather in just a moment. But first, Rod, we wanted you to take a look at this. Out of Arizona, a round of monsoons triggered a dust storm there in the Phoenix area yesterday. Officials say visibility dropped to less than a mile. So there you see the dust storm in the Phoenix area. Can you imagine having to drive through that yesterday?
I have driven through one of those dust storms in Arizona, and
not fun.
It's really dusty, I can tell you that much.
I mean, almost to the point where you want to pull over?
Yeah, you got to pull over because you can't see it.
Right.
It's absolutely right. Of course, monsoons down there, kind of a necessary evil, if you will, because they do deliver the wet season, the water that they need for the year.
Yeah. What about around here?
Beautiful weather, no problems. Back to you, as they say in showbiz.
No, come on now.
Here's a look at the weather map. Yesterday, we were tracking those thunderstorms out east, but nothing today. All dry currently. Washington, Oregon, it will stay that way throughout the day. Not seeing much in the way of any cloudiness. We're wondering if we get some cloudiness spilling up the Columbia River for a bit of a weak marine push in the coming hours. If we do, that will quickly go away. And basically, the forecast today is all sunny and pretty similar stuff tomorrow. Partly cloudy in the morning, Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Weather models are liking some cloudiness Saturday morning. This is 7:30 in the morning, and a little wave of cooler weather sets up for the weekend. And I'm going to show you on the 7-day in a moment that I have at least added a realistic shower chance to Sunday's forecast with that cooler weather and an upper level low that's going to be tracking toward us on Sunday. But back to today, there's Mount St. Helens in the corner of the screen, and just beautiful clear skies up top. We're at 58 degrees. Here are the other numbers to start with. Will be a nice Thursday. 43 in Newport. That's a cool spot on the map. Warm spot would be 63 degrees right now out in the Dalles. And here come your forecast numbers for today. Just gorgeous. A little bit warmer than yesterday by as much as 5 degrees. Portland only hit 80 yesterday. Today we show Salem 86, McMinnville 84, just sunny and warm weather, north winds pretty much normal for this time of the year. Of course, up in Southwest Washington, looking for some early cloud cover. Otherwise, all sun, 80 in Longview, 85 in Vancouver, and 83 in Battleground. And there have been a couple of tweaks to the 7-day. So basically near 85 today and tomorrow. Beautiful Thursday, beautiful Friday. We showed you that cloudiness to begin Saturday. It pushed us some cooler air moving in. 81 the high though with afternoon sun. And as far as the Sunday rain chance, if you do have plans, the best chance of rain looks to be up to our north. But when I look at the pressure heights with the low pressure system swinging toward us, I've got to say, well, yeah, there could be a shower. So we'll see if something develops or not. After that, we go 85, and just like that, this is a change from yesterday, up to 90 on Tuesday, and we could be close to 90 on Wednesday of next week as well. And now I'll say, back to you.
And now I say, thanks to you, Rod Hill. We'll have more from Rod coming up here in just a minute. But first, coming up, the latest edition of our Sunrise series that we call What's in a Name. So this one focuses on a creek and a state park. It's Starvation Creek and Starvation State Park between Cascade Locks and Hood River. How do you get a name like Starvation? We will explain right after this on the Sunrise Show.
Also, the KGW School Supply Drive begins next month, but you can help us out right now. We're looking for businesses and organizations to join the effort. When you sign up at kgw.com/school, we'll send you an official collection kit. Last year, by the way, we sent more than 15,000 local students back to school with all the supplies they needed. And this year, with your help, we can set up even more kids for success in the classroom.